Hi, welcome to Fctv. My name's Steve Leather, Club Chairman. And our guests are today are Mike Smith, First Team Manager of Men's, and Rosie, First Team Manager of Women's. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Okay, well, let's get stuck straight in. What an exciting weekend it's been for football, last minute gaps, all that kind of thing. So let's dive straight into it. Mike, tell me about this 3-2 last few minutes win. It was a bit of a chaotic scenes.
Yeah, I think the game was a game that you wouldn't watch again for the first 70 minutes, would you? It was absolutely dreadful. There was no quality in it whatsoever. We've made a mistake, went 1-0 down, and then the cup game, we're going for it. We've been caught wide open, conceded again. We've gone down to 10 men with someone coming off with an injury after making all our substitutes.
I think it was interesting you said that about the first half, the first 70 minutes particularly. I think that's one thing that struck me was like the first 45 minutes particularly was quite a boring game really. But there was a lot of changes in the side as well, wasn't? Do you think that maybe have had an impact?
Yeah. I think we made probably 6 changes to the side, and it's a cup game, so you want to give lads minutes and make sure everyone's fresh because we've had a tough couple of weeks playing Saturday, Tuesday for quite a while now, and we're going to be going back into that as well. So it was important to give lads an opportunity. And some of them have probably played with a little bit of nerves and some pressure, thinking that they've got pressure on them because they're getting a chance to impress, and it's probably backfired on some a little bit. Yeah. But as a group, not just those players, as a group, as a squad, we weren't good enough, and it was we massively dropped our levels. And
I think that's the problem with us, particularly with the cup games, really, because like I said, they're going to raise the game. It could be in a division below, and the expectations probably not there quite as much as in the Eager game. So the combination of the two probably made the factor that first 45, 50 minutes was a bit of a
I think really. It does play a part, and I think the first 45 minutes it was like it was a friendly game. So both teams were not really laying a glove on each other. It was cautious. Everyone was sloppy. Everyone giving the ball away. I think we had an effort on goal in the first 2 minutes where the keepers made a great save. Apart from that, there was nothing else between either side.
What did you think? Do you think the subs changed it a little bit, or was there a moment in the game when you thought, we've got him here a little bit?
I don't think the subs changed it. I think it was a bit of their own downfall, to be completely honest. They're 2-0 up with 5 minutes to go, and you think can just manage the game. And they've had a couple of lads that have decided to cause a little bit of trouble, and it's backfired on them. And experienced players as well, which if it was me in the other dressing room, I wouldn't be happy about it. No. And the lads would know about it, and I think that cost them massively. It gave us momentum to get the first goal from the free kick, and then we've scored the first goal. It's carried on again into the net and then onto the halfway line. We've then scored the second goal straight after, and then it's kicked off again, and then straight after that we've scored the third goal. And then, it didn't kick off after that, did it?
No, it didn't, no. Beto popping up as normal with his back post. So, no, I mean, it was a fantastic final to the game. I wouldn't like to see it every week, I must admit. So, but Rosie, you've had your last moment game on Sunday against Salford, was it?
Yeah. We travelled to Salford, and just like the lads done as well, we a dramatic end to the game. Right. Coming away with a point, which is a really good result because we were going there. Salford were sitting top of the table. So we knew it was going to be difficult. Yeah. They've got a really good structure and organisation to their club, so we knew it was going to be a tough battle. But the girls, they started so well in the first 20 minutes or so, probably our best start to one of the games this season. Salford at that time actually had 4 players on yellow cards.
After 20 minutes?
In the first 20 minutes, so it was a feisty one to begin with, and we just dictated the play, the possession, we dominated it as well. I was just disappointed at half-time why we weren't leading in the game, but it was 0-0 at that stage. And I just said to the girls just to continue doing what you're doing, just try and up the tempo slightly and wait for that clear-cut opportunity. And it came in the second half, to be honest. Right. A ball just through the defence, and Ash Beard was there to pounce on it. Right. And she scored with a nice lob over the keeper. But after that, the tables kind of turned a little bit with decisions not going our way.
It's an interesting thing you say about referees, because it's been a common factor throughout both men's and women's teams this season. But 20 minutes for 4 yellow cards. Were they kind of deserved yellow cards, or was it just a referee trying to stamp of his authority?
Yeah, like I said, we were dictating the play, and they couldn't get anywhere near us, and the only time they could do that was with a bad challenge. Right. So they were cards that was
justified.
Yeah, definitely. But like I said, the tables turned in the second half, and then our girls kind of got a little bit more aggressive into their play, and we started getting the cards against us. Some of them, I would still argue today about them, but there was a few hair pullings and stuff in there.
Yeah.
And I got one of our coaches sent off as well, just a little bit of dissent with his mouth.
Right.
But yeah.
I suppose it's like, I mean, it's frustrating. It's like it's been dissent, but it's the factors that have been leading up to those decisions for the referees to make these decisions. And I know, Mike, you've had your frustrations over some of the referees over the last few weeks, and it seems to be a very common thing at the moment. It's that same old word every year. It's the inconsistency of the refereeing decision.
Yeah, it is. I think it's decisions at times, and I think there's offsides as well that are given, and linesmen are nowhere near play.
Yeah.
To be given offsides, and they're sticking the flags up over and over and just guessing because the space that you find yourself in, and I keep saying it, we could be probably 9 points better off only for offside decisions that have gone against us. We could be still in a cup competition in the FA Vars only for a disallowed goal to put us 1-0 up, which the linesman said it was handball. Why he interfered over the opposite side of the pitch, I'll never know, but it's a clear header. So there has been a lot of frustrations, and it does get to a point where they're coming over to you wanting to give you cards because your own frustrations have built up, and you're trying to they tell you beforehand to talk to them and communicate with them, and they'll communicate back. But as soon as you ask them a question or you try that, you don't. And I think that's what the frustration is. We know they're going to get things wrong. It's always going to happen, and I'd much rather Alana be on my side saying, when I question them, saying like, what's he given there? Just be honest. And I don't know. I'm nowhere near play the same as you. I'll ask him at half time. Fair enough. I don't mind that. What I don't like is when they start speaking to you with an attitude, and some of them are saying things to you that if you were to say to them, you're getting booked or you're getting sent off, and I just don't like that.
Do you think though? I mean, I've always been dead against the way the FA approach refereeing, particularly with assessors and coaches, things like that, because they're introducing themselves to the referees before the game. And I'm not quite sure, is it the same with the women's? Do you have many assessors there? Do you really introduce themselves at all?
No.
Well, I know particularly the men's team, particularly the first team, the coaches or the assessors, they're introducing themselves to the referees pre-game. And it's always been my opinion, it is always a bit of a personal opinion, is that those referees play and referee the game differently because they know being watched. And I think sometimes that's frustrating. At the end of the day, if you want a true reflection of a referee's performance, introduce yourself after the game when the game's been played. So I think sometimes there's a big factor that involved, and something the FA I think might need maybe to look at. But you're right. But at the end of the day, 2 positive results. It was a good point on the road. We're into the next round of the Cup in the men's, which is a home tie with MSB Walton. Yeah. Never played them before, have we?
No, they've just come up. They've just come up into the North Division. I think the mid-table have had some decent results. It's a little bit of unknown, and we'll do our own work on them, and same as we do with every team.
And it's a home tie as well, so should be a good side.
It's a home game on a Saturday, which we've not had yet.
Yeah.
Well, for a while we've had 2 cup games, so it's another cup game on a Saturday. So we're still waiting for a league game on a Saturday. Yeah. And we're going into October.
I know, it's mad.
So
well, that leads us into the next game, which is on Saturday, which is Charnock Richard.
Yeah.
Always been a tough ask, that game. We've had challenges with them over the last couple of years, and I think a couple of old faces are still there. I think still working around.
It is. They've got a good side. They're very, very experienced. They've been at the level for a number of years now, and they've always been in and around playoffs. And we've played them twice last season. First game, 2-2. Funny enough, it was a refereeing decision which put us 2-0 down at the time, and we probably didn't deserve to be behind, but we've gone in at half time 2-0 behind. We've come out second half and we've dominated. We've ended up coming away with a 2-2 draw and unlucky not to win it. And then we've played them at home. We've beat them 4-1.
Yeah,
which was a very, very good performance. But we know that we're going to go there on Saturday. They've got some very, very good players. They've signed lads from Bury and Padiham and teams like that, so who are experienced in the league and league above. Yeah. So it'll be a tough test for us. But you know, I think now we've established ourselves in the division, even though it's only our second year at the level. Whereas I think that we're a sculpt for teams, and teams play us, and they think, you know, and that's testament to what we've done so far. Yeah, teams know when they turn up against us that they're going to be in for a game, and it gets them up for it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, just to let you know, everyone at home, the next home game for the men's team is on Tuesday against Prestwich Hayes, isn't it? Yeah. That's a 7:45 p.m. kickoff. So try and get down for that as well. But yeah, I mean, before we move on to Rosie, I just got to mention Mike is suffering a little bit with his legs. He decided to play in a charity match yesterday. He reckons he was the best player in the park. Judgment's out on that one. But how are you feeling today on that one?
Sore. To be honest, I'm sore. My groins, my back and everything. But I probably was the best player on the pitch. We fell apart when I come off.
He did, yeah. You know, we did fall apart, yeah.
Manager's got to be questioned for his decisions on that one.
Yeah, I don't know who that was, but we'll ignore that one. Anyway, but yeah, that was a great event. Good to catch up with a few of the old players, mainly past. There was a couple of present ones in there as well to give us some legs. But yeah, the whole day was a really good event, and it was all in aid of Willowbrook Charity. So everyone attended that. Thanks very much indeed. But let's lead on to Sunday's game, okay, which is the FA Cup game. Briefly touched on this last week, didn't we? How are the girls feeling about the game?
Yeah, obviously yesterday got that one out of the way, so this week's just full of preparation for the FA Cup. Yeah. Obviously we travel up on the Saturday, thanks to the club. Thanks for you for putting your hand in your pocket. So
not my pocket, trust me.
Yeah, so we can fully prepare in the best possible way, because we want to go away and get the win. Yeah. If we were travelling up on the Sunday, 2.5-3 hours journey, we're not going to be able to give it our best. So massive thanks to the club for allowing the girls to go up. And
I hope you're testing for non-alcoholic beer the night before.
Yeah, I've put a proper structure plan in place. Arrive, we'll have dinner, bit of a team bonding, and then everyone's strict orders to be in bed for match of the day. Good. And
have you done much research on your opponents?
Yeah, so I've spoke to a few other people that I know. One of my ex-managers actually played them last year. So she sent me footage. I know it was last year, but it was still good enough. Yeah. They've still got similar players. She was making me aware that it's not an easy ground to go to. The women's got a really solid, strong fan base, and they were just chanting the whole way through the game. Really? So it may be intimidating, but the girls are used to that, especially after yesterday's game at Salford. It was exactly the same, so we'll be ready for it. And we've got a few new faces travelling up ourselves, with two people coming the whole way across from America to attend the game. So really exciting.
Yeah, fantastic. And I think we'll get that game videoed as well, so we'll show the highlights on the next show on that one. So let's talk about Isle of Man on the 18th of October. It's always a bit of one of those. I think there's one date everyone looks for in the Premier League, and probably in the counties it's probably the same thing, because the lads get to go out for a little bit as well. So talk us through the preparations about that game and what your expectations are. Maybe reflect on how it went last time round and what you maybe do a bit different.
I think last year, obviously, when it come out last year, we were going the 28th of December. Yeah. So straight away you're thinking, it's going to be freezing, isn't it? Yeah. What a time to be going. We were playing Pilks Boxing Day, and then we've had a day's rest, and then it was Isle of Man. We were meant to be flying at like 9:10 in the morning, and I don't think we left until 2:00. So by the time we've got there, all the preparations that we had have gone out the window. We planned to get there, let the lads have a couple of hours, and then it was have some food and have a little bit of a pre-match meeting. But we've got there, bags were in, we were down, food, and then we were back on the bus, and we were straight to the grounds. And we went there with quite light in terms of squad because of the time of year it was. Yeah. And then we've had one of the lads who's got ill on the way.
That's right.
Couldn't play. Yeah, Jack Ball couldn't play. He was ill. So preparations had gone, and to be fair, we performed well.
The game didn't start particularly well because we had someone sent off early in the game, didn't we? Or was it shortly before half time, if I remember rightly?
It was after about 25 minutes. Yeah. So we were 1-0 up at the time, but I think we scored in about the 10th minute. We were 1-0 up and we were dominating the game, and we'd had a couple of chances, and then we sort of got a little bit ragged, making the wrong decisions. And then I think we've given the ball away on the halfway line. They've broke on us and scored straight from kick-off. We've then got a man sent off with 25 minutes gone, and we were sort of backs against the wall. We've come out at half-time, changed our shape. They played the diamond, so we just matched them up and had the one forward. And I thought we were good value. We were doing well. We've conceded quite late on, and then we've equalised, bring it to 2-2, and then
it's at that point, I suppose, we would have took the point at that point, wouldn't we?
Yeah, you think and take the points, and then there was again they've scored, and probably 96th minute. It was a little bit of a blow to us, but you know the performance and considering the circumstances around it, and you know the day that we'd had, it was unlucky not to come away with something. But we still went out after and enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah, definitely enjoyed ourselves. Yeah, definitely. Well, just to remind you, everybody, about the trip. So this trip is on the October the 18th. Flights are limited, so if you do want to come over, get your flights booked early. There are ferries over there if you like a 2 or 3 hour ferry journey. I'm not sure about that one. I'll think and get the flight. So, but yeah, just get your details in early and try and get over there and support the lads. So, I think are you expecting much difference in the team? I think they're not quite as doing well as in the league as perhaps last season, are they? So
no, they're not. But they've just changed the manager. So you can imagine over the next couple of weeks, I don't think they've played on the weekend, so I think they'll be preparing and they'll probably have new players in, and he'll be putting his stamp on things. So they'll change shape. I don't think they'll play this anywhere near enough the same way as they have done. So it's going to be a completely different challenge. But we'll just go there and go and play our game and be ourselves. And obviously we were meant to be going the 3rd of January, wasn't we? It's only just been changed last week. We'll still be going there strong enough, and you know we've got our reserves as well that we use. You know, we drop players in there, players come up. So we'll take a couple of them with us as well. A couple that have already been with us this season and been with us last season. They just can't commit this season, so they've dropped into the reserves, but they're still signed to the first team, and they'll come with us and they'll get an opportunity, and we'll be going there to win. And at the end of the day,
so when we played at the beginning of the season, our place didn't we got the victory that we needed. So I mean, you get a new manager might be instilling new things in, but they're not going to change the personnel too much, are they? Really?
No, I can't see them changing personnel too much. But I think they'll have a completely different structure. I'd imagine that, and different ideas, and they're going to want to impress, aren't they? To be honest, they're going to want to impress. It's only 3 weeks away. They'll have a couple of games, so we'll try and find out what we can between now and then on them. Which should give us a good idea. But you know, we're doing all right ourselves, so we'll go with confidence.
Good. All right. Well, we'll come back to you about the season we've had so far, but let's just go back to Rosie and discuss. We've already mentioned the big FA Cup game, but the same weekend you've got the County Cup game. So tell us a bit who the opponents are and what your expectations are this year.
I think it's Sunday the 18th of October will be our next home game, and it's the Lancashire Cup County
19th,
Cup.
isn't it? It'll be the 19th, I think.
19th
of October,
Will we start again?
You're right, go on.
I looked down and I said, no, it is the 19th.
No, you said 18th.
Oh, did I?
So the 19th?
Yes, 19th. Yeah, so our next home game is the 19th of October, so we'll be back in the Lancashire County Cup. We weren't in it last year, actually, so it'll be nice to be back in it this year. I wonder why that
comment
is.
why that was. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, you did well in the FA Cup, that's all that matters.
I'll let you off with that one. But be good to be back in it. I think it would be a good test for us, but also, like Mike said, it's good to get players in who don't get the minutes regularly. I've got a big squad this year, so I've got 24 girls signed on, so it'll be good to get a few girls who haven't played as much football as they've liked, and it'd be a good test for them to step up and put on a performance at home for us, and hopefully get into the next round.
Our club's particularly got a good history in the County Cup, so I think the lads have won the cup competition themselves, and the Resies have made a good competition. So I think if we can put our mark on the women's side of things a little bit, that would be good run this year. So
of course, like I said, the priority is the league. And then the FA Cup, we want to do really, really well. But the County Cup is something that we could actually go on and hopefully get to a final.
Definitely. Okay, so we've been the first episode of Fctv. It's probably a good time to reflect maybe on the season so far. So we'll start with you again, Mike. So, with how many games? 12 games in now, 12 games in. So what's your thoughts and your feelings about how we've started and where you think could move room for improvement, or even look at the positives as well?
Yeah, I think all things considered, we've played 10 away from home, had 2 league home games, and we're sitting 4th in the table. And as I said before, only for some decisions going against us, we could be probably 9 points better off. At the same time, we've played games where we've probably let ourselves down a little bit, and we've not won the game or come away with a point where we feel like we should have.
Which games have stood out for you, though? The dozen games you've played in the league, which is the game you thought we're close to at that point?
Well, I think you look at the Widnes game that we've played the other week. We've lost the game 1-0 to a team that have dropped down the division, have been relegated last season. They've got a very, very good squad for me. They've probably got the best squad in the league. Right. With players that they've got a manager that's experienced at this level and level above as well, and has done a tremendous job wherever he's been. He's gone in this season. And I thought for that game we were very good. We dominated. We've not took our opportunities early on. The keepers made some great saves, and then they've hung in, knowing that they were in a game. They've used the experience that they've had, and they've sat in, let us come on to them, but not allowed us to break them down. And it's got late on in the game, and they've had a shot from probably about 20 yards out, and it's deflected off a couple of people and gone in the bottom corner. And they've ended up beating us 1-0, but it was a good performance. It's one of them where you come away disappointed that you've not took anything from the game. But it shows how close we are. The game after that, we go into Adet LR, where we've ended up losing again. And that was a game where, when we look back, about 33 shots.
Yeah.
I think there was 17 of them on target. Again, keeper was absolutely tremendous.
And that was one game I thought, how the hell we never came out with a win, I do not know. Because I think that's probably one of the best performances we've had so far this season, 100%. And the goalkeeper was on fire. I think we've still been playing today, and when he still made no saves, it was incredible.
It summed the game up probably the last minute when we've took a corner and we've hit the post and we've hit the bar. That cleared off the line, and then he's made a great save, tipping one off the line, all in the space of probably a minute. Yeah. And that they've come away with a 2-1 win, and that's the harsh realities of this league. If you don't take your chances, you can get punished quite easily. Yeah. But I think on the whole, we've done well.
Which players have stood out for you then, particularly?
I think obviously Josh Briggs was an excellent addition to us. He scored 8. He's moved on now to Clitheroe. He's had an opportunity to step up a division. He's done well for us. He's now gone there, so it'll be interesting to see how he does. He was a big loss to us. Ryan Sinnott stepped up from the reserves. He's played games. He's done well for us. I think we've chopped and changed things in midfield because lads haven't been quite at it or quite fit enough. Michael Beto coming back in was big for us at centre half. Harry Egan getting himself back fit. The captain. He's a big player for us. So the likes of them. But I think in recent weeks, we lost Josh Briggs, and it was important that we replaced him and signed 2 players that are experienced from the divisions above, and Harry Scarborough coming in, and then Mackenzie O'Neill as well coming in. Harry from Bamber Bridge and Mackenzie from Bootle, and I've got no doubt about it. Them 2 are going to be massive players for us when they're up to speed. We can't forget that they weren't really playing for the clubs that they were at. So it's about getting their fitness up and sharpness up again. Yeah. But once they're there, I think they'll be tremendous addition to us. Harry scored 1, Mackenzie scored 1, and they'll be very, very good players for us.
Yeah. No, that was brilliant. And Rosie, so the season so far, what's your thoughts? You happy where you are? You should be. You're second with a couple of games in hand, didn't you? So.
Yeah, excellent start to the season. Really, really happy with where we're at. Like you said, we're second in the league. I think we're 1 point off top and 2 games in hand. So we're in a nice position at the moment, but those 2 games in hand mean absolutely nothing at the moment. So we'll wait for them to come around.
They've restructured the women's league at that level, didn't they? And it's spread across 3 divisions now. So
yeah,
is that Is that weakened the quality of the league, or is that improved it? Where does it sit? 'Cause it's always difficult. 'Cause you've also got teams in there defaulted. We're actually technically a division below, I assume. So.
Well, yeah, it's a hard one at the moment because we're still trying to work out teams that's come in. We've moved leagues, so we always had a north and a south, where there's now a central, and we have moved into the central, and there's like 6 new teams in there.
Right.
So 2 have came down, 2's moved up, and sideways movements as well. So I know Pelks has came up. They didn't get promoted, but they signed a piece of paper and they got up. So they're in the league. Yeah. Good job we battered them twice, which was nice.
So it was nice at FC that was.
Yeah, but until we get to play every team in the league, I'll let you know then. Yeah. But for now, like yesterday,
how many teams are in the division? Was it 10?
There's 10, where we used to have 12. So
you're not going to be in a position where you're having to play team 3 times and anything like that.
Not at the moment, no. So the aim is obviously to go up, but just keep doing what we're doing and picking up the points.
So who stood out for you this season then?
You know what? I remember a training night you came down, and I don't think you could believe your eyes when there was 30 girls training for FC.
Yeah. But I wondered how the hell are you going to handle this one?
So pre-season was really good. Yeah. I've got 24 girls signed on, and then just for games, I'm having to let girls down. You know, say you're not available, or I can't pick you for a selection this week for X, Y, Z. But one player in particular, out of them all, Sophie Griffiths. Right hand side. She's been right side when we play a free at the top, right winger when we're playing, across 5 or 4, and then she does wing back as well. Right. So she's just brilliant, and she would give any of Mike's lads a run for their money in terms of speed. She's like lightning.
She is lightning. I've seen it. Yeah. She is lightning.
For those.
Yeah. Jack as well, my assistant. He puts a challenge in with her at training, and she goes for it, and she's not far off him.
Good.
She's really, really fast.
Good. And you've got your ever present like Ash Beard, I mean, in his name all the time. She's still banging in the goals.
Yeah, I said to her yesterday, for the last couple of years, you've been the best player in this league. Go out today and show why. And she proved that in the second half. Teams just go for her and just kick her. She'll be walking like Mike today. She'll be black and blue. Yeah. With the amount of kicks she got yesterday. But yeah, she's been incredible. Good. Top goal scorer for last couple of years. Right. I thought we were going to lose her. A lot of clubs came in for her in the summer. Yeah. But I met up with her, had a good chat with her, and she wanted to stay. She's got that famous FC bug. Once they're in, it's very difficult to get out of, to be fair. But yeah, no, it's been a fantastic season. I think start to the season, I should say. So I think big plans are ready for your promotion of this season. No pressure, of course. No pressure.
It's the hardest part as well, that isn't it? Where you've got
the expectations,
that many in your squad, and if you're leaving people out, particularly when people are at training all the time, and you've got to do it. And I think for me, a Friday when when we're discussing the squad, you already know that probably you're 11 and who's going to be in it, and then you're trying to balance your subs and what you may need, and then I always give the lads a phone call on a Friday and tell them why they're not in it.
Don't be putting that on me now.
No, to be fair, when I do say to people, though, people say to me like, well, loads don't do it. No, I worked with Dave McNabb at Rylands and with him, and who's the Berry manager now, and it's something that he always done. And I think it's right. I think for when I do it, it's always a tough conversation. You're always thinking someone's going to start arguing with me, so you'd always gear yourself up for a little bit of an argument. But to be fair, they take it, and they're being left out for a reason, and I speak to them and give them that reason why they're being left out. And if it's fitness, then I'll tell them, like, you need to be going to play with the Resis for a couple of weeks and get your fitness up. Yeah. If they haven't turned up for training or anything, then I'll tell them, you need to be getting to training more. And if they're not quite doing it or things are not quite working, I'll tell them what I need them to do, or something like that along those lines, and just be honest with them. And I think they respect that as well. And I get, as tough as it is, they turn back up, and you do get the odd one that sulks and they're not willing to do it. But it's part and parcel of it. And one thing I always say to them is, if I bring a player in, if they're not doing it, just because I brought them in, it doesn't mean they're going to play. Yeah. You do get the odd. I think you've touched on an important point there, because it's one of the things,
you've got, that particularly Rosie hasn't got, and a club a little bit under the pressure to try and deliver this, is like the reserve side of things. So I know myself and Rosie have talked about this in the past, about how we can get, when a turn up and there's 30 odd players there, we need to try and find that way of creating a reserve side for the women's. And there's probably not that many women's clubs out there actually got a reserve side, but we're under pressure to try and deliver that. And obviously with the plans we've got with like the Bishop Road, hopefully that coming off, that will allow us to bring in extra teams, and that will obviously be great help, because you can then go, and if they need that fitness, they can go down to the reserves and get those minutes that they need. So I think that's important from a club's perspective, that we can support the managers and do that. So all good. So it's all positive, isn't it?
I think it's massive as well, having the reserves, and there's not many clubs that tap into the reserves or use the reserves. There's so many clubs.
You said something very early, and it was point. You mentioned Ryan Sinnott, and I thought, it's one of there can't be that many counties teams out there that are actually tapping into their resis, and I think because of the success the resis have had over the last couple of years, particularly with the bringing those players through, and I think, again, we need to be in that position that the women have got the same
Someone who missed out as well is Jamie Whittaker. We can't forget how good he's been. 2 assists on Saturday. He was one of the ones that come out the starting 11 because of the amount of games he's played for us, and he stepped up from the reserves. And he's been absolutely outstanding. He's been phenomenal.
The step up he's made, isn't it? He's been incredible. And I know you guys don't see it when you're on the field and you're managing and you're playing, whatever, but the comments I hear, and that one name springs up all the time.
He's been absolutely outstanding. He's become so important for us, and and again, he stepped up from the reserves. We had CJ last season. I think he'd scored 10 for us last season, and the season before he was with the reserves. And when I first come in, Tom Scarborough was in and out the first team and the reserve team, and he ended up one of our most important players when we've won the league. And if you work with the reserves close enough, and you can you can bring players in yourself to go and play in the reserves. And then you can utilise them, rather than if you're needing someone for a game or two, and you can put them in and give them the opportunity and they do well. For me, it's massive. It's massive to be able to do it, and I've got a good relationship with Ryan and Steve Ashton and Sweeney and that as well. So we're always talking about players, and they're always willing to take lads from the first team that need minutes, which is huge.
I think it's big. I mean, it's going to be a big opportunity for us in the club, and we should know really what's happening with Bishop Road. Hopefully in the next few weeks. And once we've got that piece of paper or that nod to say we've got it, then that's when you can start laying those foundations down for the next step, really. And it's not just about the women's side in the reserves; it's a big opportunity for the junior section as well. It encourages more players, whether it's the younger lads or the younger girls coming through. There's a big opportunity for young girls. It's huge at the moment, women's football, isn't it? We need to capitalise on those opportunities that allow these kids to play and stuff like that. So, but it comes down to facilities, and you can provide the right facilities, players will come to you. And we've always been quite proud of the fact that even when we were in the much lower leagues, we had one of the better facilities, and players will come for facilities, and the kids need to aspire to play for the first teams, whether that's the men or the women's side of things. So we're doing all right behind the scenes. We always want more. Of course, we want more, and managers always want more. So these two are no exception. So, but that's where the pressure is. I like to be in a position where I'm chasing the team rather than the team chasing the club. Do you know what I mean? So it means that the team's progressing, puts pressure on me to provide better facilities and better opportunities, and that's how we've ever built the club since 2014. So we just got to keep it going. That's all. So
yeah.
But great. No, it's been great speaking to you. Thank you much for your time.
Thank you.
Like I said, next week we'll have a couple of next episode we'll have a couple more guests in. If there's any opportunities you want to come in and talk about, just put it in the comments. Send us a direct message, wherever. Get in touch with one of the managers. We'll get you in the studios. We'll have a chat, and then we'll take it from there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of Fctv. Bye for now.
2014, Steve had a dream. We lit the fuse and we were flying. We are thunder, we are hope, we are fire, here we go. We are Football Club St Helens. We are Football Club St Helens. We are Football Club St Helens. We are on the up and up.
Hi, it's Steve Leather from Fctv. Tune in for the next episode where we'll get to see club legend Steve Ashton and under-18s manager Barry Pope. Loads of other good stuff.